Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in again today. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. I appreciate it very much. I appreciate anybody who takes the time to watch the videos as well. Thank you so much. Okay, we got another one here from We Got This Covered, and it is Rick and Morty Die Hards. Brace for the worst in the wake of Justin Roiland's infamous DMs. Rick and Morty creators have repeatedly broken the fourth wall to tell fans that the show is going to run for 100 years and maybe 100 seasons. Just as we were beginning to take them for their word, though, the Justin Roiland scandal has come forth, threatening to destroy the show's legacy and any prospects for its future. The co-creator is currently facing domestic violence charges, in wake of which other less-than-savior allegations have surfaced. The most problematic among them, especially as it relates to the show's longevity, are the direct messages that Roiland sent back and forth with a number of his colleagues and associates, many of whom were underage at the time. Adult Swim is probably praying for the whole thing to blow over, but even if Roiland's attorneys manage to clear his name, as they put it, the future of Rick and Morty is still uncertain. Other shows and their creatives have been canceled for less, so there's no telling what's going to happen to everyone's favorite adult animated series. For the moment, the community is bracing for the worst possible outcome, which is the show's cancellation. And I'll just leave that here for a moment. You can pause that and read it. That's a bit of a long read for that there. Okay, and all right. Frankly, Justin Roiland is Rick and Morty, so we're hard-pressed to imagine the show continuing without him. For one thing, the man actually voices both of the titular characters, and for another, he's part of the brain power behind the compelling narrative. All signs bode ill for Rick and Morty at the moment, but maybe the show can continue its run in some capacity, or at the very least get renewed for a final season wrap-up. The final season to wrap up the story. Whether Roiland will be part of those plans is another question, and a contentious one at that. And I'll put this down here so you can read that while I wrap up the video here. Or give my opinion, rather. Is Rick and Morty going to get canceled because of this? Probably. I would say probably yes. Will Justin Roiland be able to finish off the show? Maybe. In my opinion, they'll probably let him wrap up the show, finish it off, give it one more season, and then clean their hands of the entire situation. Unless he is found guilty, in which case the show will probably be canceled then and there. The only way I see the show continuing is without Justin Roiland. Odds are Cartoon Network will try to buy him out in some way so they can continue on and let somebody else run the show. They'll probably have to get another person to voice the characters of Rick and Morty. I don't know if they'll have to hire 2 new actors or just one to do both roles like Justin Roiland is doing. But if his lawyers get him off, I would say they'll give the show one more season to wrap everything up, finish everything off, and end it the way that Justin Roiland wants to end it. If his lawyers don't get him off, odds are the show will be either quickly canceled or they will try to buy Justin Roiland out. Whatever part he owns of Rick and Morty, they'll try to buy him out and keep the show going without him. That is the only way I see the show continuing on. Because like they said, shows have been canceled for less, people have been canceled for less. So that's the only real way that I see the show continuing on. I love Rick and Morty. I like the show. And as far as the DMs go, that leaves a stain on the legacy of Rick and Morty for sure, especially if they're true. In some cases, I'm going to be honest. When it comes to stuff like this, people will fake stuff like this so they can win lawsuits or something like that. But if there's truth behind it, if that yes, indeed he did do this stuff, then the show will probably they'll probably end the show and then again either buy him out and continue it on, or just end it straight outright. But as far as people loving the show, I'm sure there's still going to be people that still love the show, whether or not he continues on with it or not. I personally would probably still watch the show, but, you know, in the back of my mind, there's always going to be that little, like, the guy that created this show did some bad things, you know, but, you know, that's the way that people are. They can still watch a show even though, you know, the person in it did some bad things, but they can still enjoy the show. Because they can separate the show from the person who is in the show, but when the person created the show did it, it's a little more difficult, in my opinion. But I'm sure there'll still be people that'll just dismiss it like they're lying, they're setting him up, they're faking all this so they can win their lawsuit and this and that, which does happen. Honestly, people can lie, people can be given money to say this person did this. But did they do that? You'll probably never know. So, like with the case of Nerdist, when they with Chris Hardwick, where, you know, the person who accused him had him on the ropes, and all they had to do was, you know, present the evidence, and they refused, and everybody started looking at that case like, oh, okay, they say they have all this evidence and yet they don't come out with it and present it. Why didn't they present it? Why not? It leads you to think that maybe they didn't have that evidence at all. But in this case, they seem to have the DMs and stuff, but did they fake the DMs? Who knows? Like I said, some people, they can fake this stuff and make it look like he did it and he didn't really do it. Will they ever find out that yes, he did it, or no, he didn't? Probably not. That's the problem with this, especially with modern ways of doing things. You can make something look absolutely real and it not be. Until he flat out comes out and says, yes, I did it, then you really, you gotta consider that maybe he did, maybe he didn't. So that's the problem with the way things are. But like I said, even if he did, or even if he didn't do it, as far as the DMs go, he's still got the other charges on him for other things. I think domestic abuse. So that's still going to leave a bad taste in people's mouths when it comes to this show. So the odds are still they will either just flat out end the show and not have it come back, or they'll buy him out and hire somebody else to do his parts and continue the show on from there. In which case, the quality of the show will probably take a nosedive, to be honest, and then it'll get canceled anyway. Or they'll, like I said, they'll end the show outright. Or if the charges get dismissed, or if he's found innocent or something like that, then they'll bring him back for one more season, and then they'll end the show. And that's basically the only options I see for Rick and Morty. One, he's found innocent. They bring him back for one more season. They end the show. Two, he's found guilty. They buy him out. A, they buy him out and continue the show on. Or B, they just end the show. And the third option, just end the show altogether. I'm losing my train of thought here as far as that goes. But that seems to be the only options they will have, depending on the outcome of the trial, and I guess the outcome of public opinion. But depending on how popular the show remains or the ratings are, I would say that Cartoon Network will definitely look into buying him out. I think that's going to be their first choice. They'll buy him out. They'll make a big announcement. We bought him out. He's no longer involved in the show. Let's go with a new season. That's the odds are that is what's going to happen. They'll back up the money train and buy him out. Is what I'm thinking. But tell me what you think in the comments down below. Do you think they're just going to end the show? Do you think they're going to throw money at him and get rid of him and take the show and continue it on? Or do you think he might be found innocent and he'll be able to continue on for at least one more season? What do you think is going to happen? Tell me in the comments down below. I appreciate anybody who takes the time to watch the videos. I appreciate anybody who takes the time to like, comment, share, and subscribe so very, very much. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so, so much. Even if there are only a few of you, the few of you that do subscribe are mighty, and I do appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Have a great day, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.